What's up, everybody? Michael Massie here along with Christopher DeHarde. We're here for Frontstretch.com at the Milwaukee Mile. IndyCar is back. First off, how good does it feel to see them back here, Christopher?
Fantastic. Some people that are newer to IndyCar racing may not realize this track is actually older than the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. True story. IndyCar hasn't run here since 2015. It's had an off-again, sorry about that, on-again, off-again relationship with the Milwaukee Mile. There were some years where actually both the IRL and Champ Car ran here during the split. It's been moved around to different places on the schedule, but this evening's race was actually really, really good. Unfortunately, we don't have any lights over here on the side here. Sorry, Bob, we can't say that Milwaukee Mile has lights, even though they did run a Champ Car race here under the lights back in the mid-2000s, but I digress anyway. It was a very good race today. Pato O'Ward winning, Will Power finishing second, getting a few more points on Alex Palou. The gap is now 43 points with 2 races to go in the championship, and Connor Daly in third. Whoa, that's incredible. It was a great job by Connor. We'll get into that in a bit, but Michael, this is only your, third IndyCar race ever? How did you feel it went out there today?
I thought it was a phenomenal race. I was a little worried that it would be a one-groove track, but you saw a lot of passing. You saw lead changes, green flag lead changes. That was awesome. Some timely cautions mixed up the strategy a little bit. Obviously, that's what put Pato O'Ward up front, but just a really good race. As we mentioned, Pato O'Ward wins it. Will Power second, Connor Daly third. You got a Chevy top 4. And so what a great night for the bow ties. But first, let's dive into Pato.
That has nothing to do with why we picked this location. I mean, I'm not kidding you. If we actually were able to pan our camera all the way around over here, it's basically completely dark. The one open area that I saw that had lights, 2 open areas. One of them was directly near the media center. We didn't want to interrupt people's walking over there. And the other one, someone else was filming something over there as well. So this is basically the next best option. And yeah, Chevy, they got 1 through 4. Santino Ferrucci finished 4th for AJ Foyt Racing, which that is his 9th top 10 finish of the season. If he gets one more top 10 finish, he will match what Robbie Gordon did back in 1993 for the team, which that was the last time that someone got top 10s in a full season for AJ Foyt Racing. But Pato O'Ward, you mentioned, won the race. It was an interesting day for Pato. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about how NASCAR is going to Mexico City next year. IndyCar has been trying to get to Mexico for several years. Esteban Gutierrez was an IndyCar driver for a little bit before Pato. There was talk about trying to go to Mexico City back then. Pato is one of the most popular drivers in IndyCar racing. Unfortunately, things just have not worked out, and things kind of boiled over this morning on social media. Tweets and just people talking this and that, and Pato really just said, hey, I'm one of the most popular drivers. And you saw the reaction out here. If you watched the race on Peacock, people were really happy that he won.
Yeah, maybe there will be a billboard up tomorrow or before Nashville or something with his face on it. That's a little inside joke there. Look at the tweets and you'll get what we mean by that. But Christopher, Connor Daly, 3rd place. Will Power said after, he's like, that guy passed 50 cars tonight. What did you see from Connor tonight?
Saw a guy that's trying to drive for a job next year. This is Connor Daly's first podium since 2016. He's had piecemeal drives. He's driven for every team in the IndyCar paddock except for Chip Ganassi Racing and Roger Penske. In fact, he mentioned in the post-race press conference, Ricardo Juncos' first ever championship as a team owner in cars was in Star Mazda in 2010, which is one of the junior levels on the road to Indy. Connor drove for them in 2010, won several races, finished on the podium in every race except for one race. I think it was at New Jersey Motorsports Park. I should know because I wrote a story about him driving for Ricardo's team at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Anyway.
$1 in the swear jar.
I know, right? At least I haven't called it Indy Lights yet. By the way, speaking of that, let's just quick tangent. Louis Foster won the Indy Next Championship. He won the race today, so he has mathematically eliminated any other drivers from competition for the Indy Next Championship. He will win the scholarship to move up to IndyCar next year for at least 2 or 3 races, including the Indianapolis 500. He drove for Andretti Global and did a great job today. But go back to Connor. So he won Ricardo Juncos' first championship in cars back in 2010 in Star Mazda, and this was Ricardo's first podium in IndyCar racing. I don't want to talk bad about Agustin Canapino. It took him a while to try and figure out open wheel racing. Things just didn't quite work out for him over here, but we saw that by having Connor in the car, it was ultimately the right move to put him in. He went from 25th to 11th to 14th in 4 laps. He gained a lot of spots, and
he jumped up high and was just cruising.
Oh, around everybody. Well, Tony Donahue, former colleague of ours at Frontstretch, mentioned it was kind of Thomas Scheckter-esque because Thomas Scheckter would always go on the outside of people at restarts and pass them. It was really, really, really entertaining to see. And had they actually swept the top lane of the racetrack, it would have been even better for Connor. But I do want to bring up one thing real quick near the end of the race. There was a caution for Colton Herta. He left before his left front tire was secured to the car, and the left front tire came off as he was going through the acceleration lane in between turns 1 and 2. That kind of helped cement Connor being in the top 5, top 10 there. He was on the outside of the top 10. He was I think 11th or 12th. And then he was in the last of the cars to pit for their last pit stop. And right before they were getting ready to head to pit road within a lap or two, that's when the caution came out, and that kind of jumbled everything up. And I knew as soon as I saw Connor in second place on the live timing screen, I had a feeling that we were in for a really, really entertaining end of the race because Connor, as I mentioned earlier, he's driving for a job. He's driving to keep Ricardo Juncos' team in the bottom spot of the leader circle program, which he finished 8 spots ahead of Christian Rasmussen in the 20. He was brought in to replace, or Ed Carpenter stepped out of the number 20 to put Rasmussen in. Rasmussen finished 11th, which that was the right decision as well. Great run for him. Overall, it was a great run for a lot of people who needed a great run.
And you can hear that interview with Rasmussen. You got Christopher talk to him afterwards right here on this YouTube page. Back to the tire thing. You know, the word I kept hearing going into this race was tire degradation. Yep. I didn't think it would ever mean that a tire would degrade on off of a car onto the racetrack, but here we are. But I would say that pretty much ends Colton Herta's bid for the championship. I'm not sure if it does mathematically, but come on, he's not going to overcome that. But you did have Will Power finish second. He led some laps. Alex Palou really didn't show much all day. I look up at the end, he's running 5th. I mean, I think that caution helped him a little bit at the end, but you know, he minimized how much willpower could gain on him. What did you think about those 2 days? What's this championship going to look like?
The only way Alex Palou loses this championship is if he doesn't finish tomorrow's race, which will be on at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time on USA and Peacock. Think about this. Detroit, he finished 16th. Iowa race 1, he finished 23rd because he had a spin coming off of turn number 4 midway through the race. If it weren't for those 2 finishes, every single race he's done finished this year in IndyCar racing, all of them top 5.
That's
every
ridiculous.
Single one. In the last 33 races, 31 top 8 finishes.
That is crazy. It's just, he's the model of consistency. I mean, the days like today, he didn't have a winning car. I don't even know that he had a top 5 car, and he still gets it done. It's looking like it's going to be Alex Palou's championship. But you still got to run the races, right? Still got 2 more races left. Got one tomorrow, as Christopher mentioned. It's at 2:30 Eastern Time, 1:30 local time on USA and Peacock. Watch all the action, and then come back to our YouTube page to watch some more stuff from us, as well as check out frontstretch.com for all the wonderful articles. For Christopher DeHarde, I'm Michael Massie. See you tomorrow.
Steven Stump of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.